Ones that you have to know for the zygus. 39 comes back from the pulmonary trunk, and that's the azygous vein, drains to the superior vena cava. So this is all blood coming back to the heart. So actually it's coming all the way from the common iliac up into the superior vena cava. And then number 40 is the hemiazygous. That also merges into the superior vena cava. That's coming from the left common iliac. 41 is the accessory, which drains into the hemiazygous, which we just talked about, but that comes from the left subclavian, so from the top of my body. And then the superior vena cava goes directly, which is the major azygous system, drains into the right atrium of the heart. So that's it.
Okay. Now do the arm and the leg.
All right. The arm, we'll just
Do the veins.
You want to do the veins?
Yeah, I need to catch up on veins. I'm good on arteries.
Okay.
And aren't these matching too, really, veins and arteries?
Well, you have three
Different ones.
on the arm that you don't have on the leg.
Okay.
Are on the arteries. So I have the subclavian,
Which is also an artery.
which is also an artery, but then I have the outside guy called the cephalic vein, which runs all the way from the subclavian all the way down to my finger.
Okay.
So, and that's one of the extra ones that you don't have in arteries. And also on the inside, number 31 is the basilic. So the basilic and the cephalic, they both surround the brachial. So you only have a brachial artery that breaks into deep. On the veins, you have inside basilar, outside cephalic. And then here in this middle is where we draw blood from. 35, that's your middle antecuboidal. And then they break off into, you don't have to know these, but it's medial basilic and medial cephalic. They merge.
They merge. Got you.
They merge together, and they form the medial antebrachial vein.
Okay.
So those two merge into, then that's in the front anterior superior of my vein. And then 29 and 28, outside, remember outside radial always goes to the outside.
Right.
Ulnar always is on the inside. So 28 is my radial, 29 is my ulnar. And then we drop down to the hand. So 37 is dorsal metacarpal. 36 is the dorsal venous arch, number 36.
It's way down there. Got you.
That's the arch.
Okay.
You have to know that one. And then dorsal digital. Digital means fingers. So all these are dorsal digital. This is the dorsal venous arch,
Okay.
and then 37 is dorsal metacarpal.
Okay.
That's it for the veins.
That's for the, and then the leg.
And then the leg, you have two extra.
Two extra
also.
too?
Yeah. Usually you get quizzed on those because those are ones that there's no arteries.
There's no arteries for it. Got
So
you.
usually it's pretty common that you get tested on that. So I'll
Because
start.
if you learn the artery, then this is something extra you learn vein-wise.
Right. That's why it's easier usually to learn the artery.
Right.
Because when I learn the veins that are deep that run with, because arteries only run deep,
Right.
then I can learn the extra veins that usually run superficial.
Gotcha.
Right. So everything I can see, those are veins.
Got you.
I can't see my arteries. So now normally we would run from the foot back,
We can do that.
so usually that's the easiest way for me. So you have two sets on the foot. So just so you know, there's superior and then there's deep, superficial and deep. So 87, 88, I'll start at the 88. That's plantar. Plantar is the bottom of my foot. Plantar digital veins. And then you have on top, 81, that's dorsal metatarsal veins. So deep, plantar, top, metatarsal. And then 82 is dorsal venous arch. Same thing with my palm, only now it's in my foot. Backs into 85, dorsal pedis. Pedis is a Latin word for foot. And then 87, because it's coming from the plantar digital, it's going to the plantar venous arch. I have that arch that crosses across the bottom of my foot.
Yeah.
And then 86 80, is that 86 or 88? 86 is
yeah.
medial and lateral plantar veins. So I have on both medials inside, laterals outside.
Okay, got you.
So from my digits to my metatarsals to my plantar, now I'm going back up my leg. So 74 is my small saphenous, which I don't have an artery. 79, that's my anterior tibial, which runs in the front of my big leg bone, lower leg bone. 80, I'm sorry, not 80.
That's 70 right here.
70 is the great saphenous vein. That's the largest vein in my body. So it runs all the way from my
yeah,
foot
look at it. Goes
all the way up here into my
So that's a question
iliac.
too, right? But what's the
That's
largest vein in
usually
the
a
body?
common question.
Okay.
So don't forget, I have the great saphenous, which is extra. And here's femoral, deep femoral. Then off that femoral where it comes out of just the deep femoral, this is the regular femoral. That's where I have the lesser saphenous.
Oh, the lesser.
Yep, and then I have an anterior tibia, and I have posterior tibia. Posterior is number 78, anterior is number 79. And 76 is my fibular, that feeds my fibula bone,
Okay.
all right? And then on the other side, that's still the same guy. That's the great saphenous. So this guy goes all the way from my iliac all the way to my foot.
Wow, that's a big one.
That's it for me.
Okay.